Welcome to 99th Monkey Liberty News for Monday, November 17th, 2014. I was just kind of surfing this morning and happened to notice this. I was on Koala Pele and saw this video of an appearance of Jim Carrey on the Jimmy Kimmel show. Mark Dice has talked about it in this video. Jim Carrey jokes about the Illuminati and Bohemian Grove on Jimmy Kimmel. I'm blowing the lid off it. And Mark Dice talks about how the audience was laughing, and there's some interesting information in this video. Mark Dice has some interesting things to say. But Koala Pele seemed to think and posted the video because he thought that Jim Carrey was genuinely trying to expose the Illuminati. Which is it? I don't know. I noticed the laughter of the audience, which Mark Dice mentioned. However, I'm quite sure that it's a laugh track. I don't think that it's genuine laughter and applause. It sounds to me like a laugh track that was added in. So I'm ruling that out as evidence that this was not a sincere attempt to expose the Illuminati. However, this is the kind of we're trying to figure that we're all trying to figure this out, right? Well, it's a distraction for us. I mean, for people who watch the show, it might have been like an "oh my gosh, this is what my sister told me" kind of a moment where they began to really question whether there is an Illuminati, whether these things really are so, whether our lives really are controlled and we're mind controlled. The laugh track does diminish that message. However, again, I believe that it is a laugh track. And so, stepping away a little bit from that, in case it is a distraction, it's interesting nonetheless. I just wanted to go to Infowars breaking news. There are some interesting things here. Neil Young boycotts Starbucks over GMO lawsuit. That is pretty cool. I've wondered about Neil Young. He has seemed like like a fairly genuine person, kind of a recluse. And it's always nice to see people in the public eye take a stand like this. This does have an impact. It's probably not right of us to look up to these kind of people. That's really one of the most effective control mechanisms, in fact, that the social engineers use against us, is that they count on our admiring certain people, and then when they can draw those people who we tend to admire into their web, they can more easily control our thoughts and craft our opinions. But this knife cuts is a two-edged sword, because sometimes these people begin to speak out. They may not be as controlled as was thought, and some of them put layers and layers of protection around themselves. I remember when Christopher Walken made a brief appearance on Alex Jones at one time. And Christopher Walken has a home in France that's completely off the grid. I think it was buried. I don't know. He obviously had many, many layers of security around him. So, because it's very easy to pick these people off or replace them with clones, or who knows, right? So some other interesting things, and I'm not interested in all of these things, but one thing that did jump out at me was, well, first of all, Obama at one time said, this is just showing his hypocrisy, of which we're all very aware. State Department website taken down. That's kind of a, what is going on? Is it possible that the white hats are trying to make announcements and the bad guys just took the website down? Who knows? These are critical times. One place that we often look on Monday mornings to see what's going on, what's really going on, hopefully anyway, is Benjamin Fulford. But along with the State Department website, his website is not available this morning. So it just, there's this struggle to figure out what's going on. And I'm here to tell you this morning that I don't know. I don't know what's going on. There are so many different signals. If you know what's going on, let me know. So I'm actually going to take a hiatus from 99th Monkey News. I have some family projects, and at least for the next few weeks until Thanksgiving, maybe till Christmas. I'm not really sure, but what I kind of want to express is that I don't really feel all that competent right now about giving opinions. I really don't know what's going on. I'm not sure if Jim Carrey was on Jimmy Kimmel to expose the Illuminati or to make conspiracy theorists look like fools. And, there are many of those kinds of issues. I don't want to be making calls about things like that right now. It's always crucial that we all reach our own conclusions, and what I've only ever wanted to do is stimulate thought and discussion. And at this time, I don't have a lot of inspiration to do that. And I'm not saying that I need warm and fuzzy feelings to keep doing something. However, I don't want to be keeping something alive that has gone beyond its usefulness. And that's what this little book is all about. Dr. Frankenstein and World Systems. It's such an excellent book, and I think it's only 67 pages. But this is a book that we have bought to give to people because it highlights so well the problems of a system. And of course, what we are struggling against is the world system. A system can begin as something inspired, and then the inspiration departs, and the system takes on a life of its own. That's not about the inspiration, not about the goals, not about the original founding principles, but about keeping something alive beyond its time, and hence the name Dr. Frankenstein, because sometimes we tend to try to keep alive something that really should die. And I'm not saying that 99th Monkey News has gotten to that point, but I am going to take a few steps back and gain some perspective. And in the meantime, there is something that is inspiring me, and that is Wake Up Winston. I firmly believe that humor is a great way to communicate. And, whatever Jim Carrey was trying to communicate, I mean, there were a lot of mixed signals if you watch that video. But humor softens the crust a little bit of people's exteriors, and sometimes it's easier to reach people with humor than it is by, just continuing to land blows, even if they're good, solid blows with a lot of force behind them. So this it was rough. We completed this very quickly for a contest deadline. We didn't win. I can't believe it. And this is actually the version that I cleaned up a little bit after I submitted the one that we rushed to submit. And so I want to take a little time to sew into this, to develop this a little better, and to work with some creative people and maybe get this off the ground. So again, 99th, if I am, don't presume to be the 99th monkey. Actually, I'm probably about the 1,200 and some monkey, because there are a lot of people who woke me up, and there are a lot of people who are awake. And I do believe that we've even gone beyond the tipping point of how many people are awake and aware. Of course, we do still need to keep waking people up, and I definitely hope to do that, but just not on the venue of 99th Monkey News at this moment in time. So I do hope that everyone watching has a great Thanksgiving, and I think it's likely that I'll begin to do this again at some point between Thanksgiving and Christmas, unless it's really, unless I really have zero inspiration. If it is Frankenstein's monster at this point, I'm not going to try to keep it alive. So thank you for tuning in for 99th Monkey Liberty News. Weeping may endure for a night, but joy comes in the morning. Hoping that you will love one another, take care, and insist on liberty and justice for all.